Back on In Focus, thanks for staying on. The DA caucus in the City of Ekurhuleni earlier walked out on an extraordinary council sitting, claiming it was illegal and that it ran 6 hours late. The delayed Auditor General's report and no confidence motion on Executive Mayor Sivuyile Ngodwana were among the key agenda items that would have been discussed in that extraordinary meeting. For more on that discussion, we're now joined by Ekurhuleni DA Chief Whip, Councillor Michael Waters. Good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on. You would have walked out. The audit report was presented, and you're saying that particular meeting constituted an illegal meeting, but you returned for the no confidence motion. Do you think that would have been more important for you than the actual tabling of that Auditor General's report?
Good evening to you and your viewers. Well, we weren't going to participate in an illegal meeting. So I'm sure you know that we petitioned the Speaker last week to force her to call a meeting, which happened today, for the continuation of the council meeting of the 29th of February, which was suspended due to the violence caused by EFF councillors. We only had one item left to deal with, and that was the motion of no confidence. And we believed, given the importance of that item, that we had to deal with the motion of no confidence immediately. The ANC and the EFF decided that they wanted to start the extraordinary council meeting, which was supposed to start after the motion of no confidence was finished, and to pass the AG's report. We obviously objected. We stated our cases, citing legislation that prevented them from doing that, and we could not find ourselves, comfortable sitting in a meeting that was actually illegal. And as you know, we've also got a qualified AG report, and this is the first time in 4 years. Yeah.
Standing orders say 5.1, I'm sure you know them. A speaker may at any time of own accord and shall, upon request in writing of a majority of the councillors of the municipality, call a special meeting of the council. Would that not have constituted that kind of a move?
Well, no. So we use that rule to force her to call for the continuation of the council meeting of the 29th of February. You had a team there that recorded all the violence. You showed it on your TV screens. And we wanted that meeting to continue, obviously. What the EFF and the ANC did, they abused the rules of council, they abused their majority, and they then forced through the Auditor General's report. And so, for us, we wanted to debate the motion of no confidence, and then we wanted to go into the AG's report and discuss it. But, when you have an abuse of power, like you do with the ANC and the EFF currently in Ekurhuleni, you have to stand up to bullies. And you cannot be, forced to attend an illegal meeting.
There are some who are saying if the motion of no confidence would have then been voted on first and you remove the mayor, who would have then presented the Auditor General's report?
Well, no one. And quite frankly, because you have to have a mayor and an executive in place in order to table the AG's report. But quite frankly, the Speaker should have thought about this through her staff. She has a lot of staff in her office, one being the Secretary of Council, who is an advocate. And that person, the Secretary of Council's job is to raise the dangers with the Speaker. And the fact that they brought these, their concerns in the very last minute, while we were waiting to start the motion of no confidence, does not sit well with us. It shows it's a total abuse of power, and the ANC and the EFF had hatched this plan long before.
Yeah. She has pulled another one of the standing orders this time around, 48, as far as the motion is concerned, because there's been some amendments, I think, from yourselves as well from the ANC. And she says, well, I can refer matters for legal advice. Are you opposed to that?
Well, about half an hour before, you would know that she ruled that our amendment and the ANC's amendments to the motion of no confidence were illegal in that they substantially changed the essence of the motion. And she ruled on that, and that was fine. We all agreed, and we were trying to move on. But the ANC and the EFF, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. Currently, the ANC and the EFF are negotiating new terms for their power sharing agreement in Ekurhuleni. The ANC want more MEC positions, and the EFF are determined to keep as many positions as possible, including that of the Speaker, the MEC of Finance, and the Chair of Chairs. So what you saw today playing out was just it's just basically a game of the EFF ANC, who are more concerned about positions and power than they are about service delivery to the people of Ekurhuleni. You would see that services are collapsing across the metro. Electricity, water, refuse collection. I mean, we look like a pigsty because many areas have not had refuse collection in weeks. And while all this is happening, all the EFF and the ANC are concerned about is what positions they get and how much power they can get and how much looting they can all do.
Yeah. The EFF seem to be quite pleased with the fact that in terms of financials and in terms of performance and service delivery, actually they've been exonerated by the Auditor General's report. They are still in the green as far as that is concerned. The only area of concern being that of compliance with some of the procurement legislation, bid evaluation, and so on and so forth, saying it's a mild regression.
Well, that's what they would say. We would say it's an embarrassment. We have a qualified report, and if you read points 34 and 35 of the AG's report, when it comes to the awarding of tenders, they've raised deep concern at the fact that procedures were not followed properly, and we have raised concerns particularly over the 2 billion rand security contract that was awarded days after the ANC-EFF coalition came into power. We have actually sent all those documentations to the Public Protector for investigation, but there are many other contracts, and we're going to be finding out which contracts in particular the AG was referring to in her report. And it is disappointing that the AG never actually mentioned which contracts she was concerned about.
Yeah. Do you think there would have been part of the public spat between the EFF and the AG that would have led her to not mentioning the particular contract?
Well, no, I'm actually I'm pleased the AG stood her ground in that we only received the AG's report on the 29th of February as a council, several months late, in fact. And the reason for that delay is because the EFF and the ANC and the city manager of Ekurhuleni were trying to convince, is a very polite word I would use, to remove those particular two findings from the AG's report. And the AG stood firm. So I'm very glad the AG did stand firm. It's just a pity that she did not stipulate which contracts she was concerned about.
Yeah. So where are you sitting now at this particular point? Are you going to support a motion of no confidence, or are you calling for the dissolution or the dissolving of the council?
We are calling for the dissolution of the council, for fresh elections. You would have seen how, what a mockery the EFF and the ANC are making of the council and its proceedings and the rules of council. If we want a stable government in Ekurhuleni that's going to put the people first and deliver service delivery and turn around the dismal financial situation of the city, we need to have fresh elections with a fresh mandate. We cannot continue in a stalemate situation as we currently are in Ekurhuleni, and where, quite frankly, it's just the positions of power are basically left up to the highest bidders. Who can get what, and what can you do for me? And it is not why we are in politics and why we are public servants. We are here to represent the voters and do best by the voters.
Michael Waters, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on. Ekurhuleni DA Chief Whip there with the Democratic Alliance on the developments in that council.